One way or another, there's fragments of silicon.
All right, welcome to another installment of Fragments of Silicon. I'm your host, Adam. Joining me as always, the other two-thirds of the Gold Dust Trio, Gollix and Pettyfan.
Really? That's what we're going with now?
I'm like, not really, no.
Fair enough.
Like, I just don't have a snazzy name since calling a trio a crew is maybe a bit much. Like, I don't know. We can workshop it. Point of order is we are here. No guest this week. Mentioned on the Sunday program that they had a work issue. Things got delayed. That's now happening in late September, as these things go. I guess a bit of a Twilight Winter update. He has shifted over to his new position. Hasn't really mentioned anything to us about it. In fact, he's kind of fallen off the face of the universe.
I think Mac has still seen him, so.
Yeah. I mean, he's still working Mondays, though he didn't if you remember, he didn't know how long that was going to continue. So he may not have been there this past Monday. I mean, he could have been. None of us actually pay attention to Mac's stuff. You know,
I try to a little.
You try to, but let's be honest. Nobody here watches anyone else's stuff. Maybe we should, but we don't. Indeed, Mac just stopped showing up on Fragments again.
He's probably asleep.
Yeah,
He's been trying to the times that his work is good for him, because apparently to get actual money doing it, you have to make yourself available at whatever they say the peak times are.
Right. I think he mentioned that, and that just kind of continued. Maybe the point is, we're not really expecting Mac on the program anytime soon. That's just.
But if he wants to show up, that's fine.
Yeah, it's more, we know his life is chaos mode more so than usual. Since he almost had bad things happen a few weeks ago, for example. So maybe when his schedule clears up, whenever the fuck that's gonna be, I can't even promise that will ever happen. Certainly not at any time in the foreseeable future. Though, I suppose it is worth mentioning that Last Business on the Left is expected to continue as normal.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that in mind, let's get to the news. Gollix, why don't you start us off this week?
Nothing too much going on here. I am preparing to take care of the house for a couple weeks while my parents go away for their summer vacation, but that doesn't start until next week. So, other than that, thankfully things have sort of quieted down a bit in my personal life. So, nothing but minor aches and pains and the good old, no matter how long you sleep, you never feel rested issue.
Have you gone to a doctor about that?
It's not bad enough to go to a doctor about.
Fair enough.
I am going to, next time I see my doctor, mention that my back has been feeling a little bit stiffer lately.
I mean, that could just be age.
Honestly, that's what I'm assuming pretty much.
I mean, it is a thing that happens. Like, anyway, anything else?
I can't think of anything off the top of my head. We have also continued MS Saga on Sundays. That's still going well, although it's a little bit harder to figure out what to do because we've gotten into the second arc of the game and the difficulty level has jumped a bit, and grinding isn't good TV usually. But we're doing our best.
Okay. All right. Petty, you're up.
So I guess the biggest thing that happened to me is I had some dental work done yesterday. A few fillings on my right side. So that's fun. They had to put me with so much Novocaine, my face is still a little swollen and hurts. So yeah, that's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that could have been much worse. Like, you're still, you're still conscious. Like, a day after, like you're not spitting blood.
Fair enough.
So.
And also last night we managed to beat Fatebreaker, which is another one of the raid bosses in Final Fantasy XIV. So, yay! Only one more left, and then we get to go back and try and kill Shiva.
Like,
so yeah, that's fun.
Surprised you didn't broadcast that, or did you?
Honestly, we didn't even know we were going to even be close.
Explains things. Anyway, anything else?
I have been enjoying going to the card shop on Sundays because they have Digimon card game tournaments. So if you're wondering why reviews have been I've been moved to 9 Eastern, 8 Central. That's partly why.
Yeah. It's not just you. With Galix and MS Saga, it's just easier to
Getting
start
some
a half
severe scritching.
There we go.
Between
that's better.
Between Galix and Petty Fan here, it's just easier to start at 9. Like, let's see. I guess. Anything else?
It's freaking hot. Next victim.
Well, I mean, that'd be me. Let's see. I guess the biggest news from my corner is my birthday gift arrived. Yeah,
Man.
my birthday is next Monday.
Happy birthday.
I'm like turning XD years old. Like,
born in XX.
Yeah, I mean, as far as public broadcasting goes, like, but anyway, when you reach a certain age, your gifts become much more practical. And my big gift is a new printer.
Oh man.
Yeah. Well, my old printer is not sure if it's having problems with the ink, or it seems to be starting to go. So rather than have that not do a thing that's important, I got a new printer.
Hey, it's cheaper than ink.
Like, debatable. Like, I mean, it is a much smaller printer than my previous one, or my old one. I still have it. But that's because it's just a printer. My old one is a printer and photocopier. I don't really need a photocopier now. I did back when I needed that. So, managed to get a Canon printer, which is interesting because this thing has an integrated inkwell.
It's one of those ones.
One of the eco tank or whatever, where you don't have to buy regular things, or?
Well, you have to buy like the specific like Canon ink wells, but it's combined. You don't have the separate color, and you don't have the separate black.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, which is actually a real cost saver if you like.
If you use all of the inks approximately equally.
It's still like black and white ink isn't that much cheaper than coloring. At least not for HP.
Oh God.
Like, yeah, HP ink cartridges cost me $20 for black and white, $30 for the color.
I'm just thinking, like, if you don't use a yellow, then
I'm like,
you'd be like wasting yellow
I like,
if you replace it with when there's still yellow in it.
I don't think that's how ink works. Like, it's real, like, it's really all kind of used at once. At least that's been my experience. Like, when the color ink runs out, it runs out. It, you know, if it shows up as another color, it's usually the black and whites. Like, anyway, but yeah, so that's the big present. For my birthday, well, since my birthday is falling on a Monday, nothing's actually happening there. But Sunday, I will be going to my brother's place for a barbecue. No word on if that's going to affect the scheduling of the Sunday reviews.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a wait and see approach, especially with this thing now starting later. But I don't really see myself coming back at like the 9 o'clock hour, because knowing my brother, he has to work the next day. Kind of why we're doing this on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So, and yeah, that's all the news that's fit to print, if we printed. Anyway, so onwards to the Let's Play. Welcome to part 10 of that. If you
Asterisk, if it's not actually part 10, complain to the actuarial people who care.
Yeah. I mean, look, part of the problem with keeping track of this series is, this is basically our filler program.
Yeah,
So
if we did it on a regular basis, I'm sure we'd have an easier time keeping track.
yeah, I mean, there was we went an entire season between parts at one point. So it's not been that long. But that being said, we do remember where we were.
Yes, we were on our way to Honolulu and also about to run out of time.
Yeah. We only have 6 days to get to London. I don't think that's
Spoilers, we have an entire continent and an ocean in between us. So unless someone develops space flight, asterisk, see other possible path for this game, not happening.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not happening on a fucking steamship.
Mm-hmm.
But onward we go. No, anyway, I suppose
we were about to incite a mutiny, weren't we?
And yeah, I think we were going to go with the mutiny option because, our character is kind of built towards violence this playthrough.
So, consider inflaming their religious passions, or gossip and rumor would be a good way to start to incite the mutiny.
Let's go with the inflaming the religious stuff. That always works.
Yeah, I've never seen it ever go wrong in history.
No, I mean, in terms of like inciting a thing like a mutiny, that'll do the trick.
Mm-hmm.
Well, just tell them they got the wrong answer to the God question.
Okay, so I decided to desecrate the Shinto shrine, steal the captain's wall-mounted crucifix, spread rumors about the Shinto crew members, gossip about the captain.
Wow, we've got the gamut here. I'm like, jeez.
Let's
I'm
see,
like,
2 of those will probably get us murdered by at least some of the crew.
yeah, I'm like, wow, this is quite the bounty of anarchy. Like, let's see. I'm like, how far do we want to go? Is the first question.
I mean,
You
since
know,
we're gonna lose anyway, fuck it, let's go with the most destructive possible.
well, I mean, I think that is literally the desecration of a shrine.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
I would say steal the crucifix, but that's me.
I'm like, that could
Well, I
work.
don't know. That would make the captain. The thing is, who do we want to have be aggressive, the captain or the crew?
I think the crew. You know, that's kind of how mutinies work, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, pretty sure, like, you wanted the crew mad at the captain. So, let's get the.
Oh no.
Oh, this is. Yeah, this is turning into a powder keg quickly.
That didn't take long at all.
Well, then, let's proceed. Okay. Commander Davis and the submariners or the Chinese laborers? Do they mean Japanese?
No, there's a mix of people on this ship.
Okay, it's just, we desecrated the Shinto shrine and now Chinese laborers. Okay. Once again, we want to go with the lower classes.
So, Chinese laborers?
Yes. Remember how mutinies work. We don't want to be on the side of management here.
So, impress them with my skill. When it comes to dice games, or lose deliberately.
Let's impress them with our skill.
Oh man, our funds have gone up a little.
Neat. Ah. The valets and the batmen, the ship's artifact seer. I'm like, damn you, old timey terms.
Well, the artificer is probably going to be the guy who's like makes the engine good, but I'm not 100% sure. I forget what you know what a valet is.
Yeah, I know what a valet is, but a Batman. Like, I don't know what that is in this context. I know who Batman is, and I can imagine that's involving, a baseball
A
bat.
Batman or orderly is a soldier or airman assigned to a commissioned officer as a personal servant.
So, valets and the Batman.
Yeah, sure, why not? Alright, logic and reason's off the table because we know what we're doing.
Let's see. Charisma and style. Sense of duty?
Insert joke about cult of personality as we go with charisma and style.
I guess.
Yeah. Day 76. I don't think we're making it home, boys.
Nope. Okay, that there are. Yeah, it's like
We spend the rest of our lives in Honolulu. Agreed. Agreed.
I would say spread word of my signal probably, but
yeah, I'd say so too. I mean, we've been spending the last 3 days building this mutiny. Like, so that's like the match.
So, bed early or late?
Fucking stay
be,
up.
no, I would well, I don't know. I would say be well rested for your mutiny, but
All right.
One cannot mutiny on a bad night's sleep.
I mean, you don't want to be trying to avoid getting in trouble or whatever,
That's yes.
and be
Day 78.
Oh God.
I assured him it was.
Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
I called the signal to arms. Oh fuck.
Death to the aristos.
Wrong area, bro.
Yes. Uh-oh.
We may have a problem.
Yeah. Where did the sonic weapons come from?
Don't worry about it.
I think that they came from friggin' Jules Verne.
Well, I mean, no, more literally, where did they come from? Why the fuck didn't you secure that shit?
Wow.
Yeah, I'm like,
Didn't have access.
I'm guessing, like that's the kind of thing you do in a mutiny. You fucking secure the weapons.
And the Chinese laborers.
Oh. We probably should have lost them.
I mean, we
Well, we'll
have
see
2 days, so
Okay, they're not joining in, so the Submariners.
mhm.
I mean, this is fine actually. We got two of the factions, and nobody's supporting the captain.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Oh, well then.
I guess we're getting off at Honolulu.
Mhm. Yeah, the difference, I think, if this goes correctly, I think you can get to San Francisco a little faster.
I mean, not that that matters.
Well, you do have to finish, I believe.
Splash him accidentally with seawater.
Yes.
That's a good way to get beaten with a cane.
I don't know. I don't disagree with him. So
I mean, yeah, that didn't go well.
mhm.
Alrighty. Yeah.
All the way to Acapulco.
I guess that's our only option, isn't it?
Looks
I mean,
like it.
unless we get more information in town.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we can't even talk to people yet. Alright. short tour or rested comfortably in a palm top hut?
Let's take a short tour.
What the heck is that static?
So,
And what do city folk look like? Okay, who dropped a basketball?
sure, why not?
Well, it was something that bounced.
Anyway, Paris, I guess.
Oh, I hit the other one. We are not pursuing well, Monsieur. We are
I would say
neither
we are neither running nor scrabbling because we are kind of pursuing well, although we have already lost it.
Yeah. I mean, we're spending day 80 in fucking Hawaii.
I mean, I can think of worse places to spend day 80.
We can spend day infinity in Hawaii if we want.
Let's see. Barely had we placed our toes on dry land.
Sure, why not?
I have not the soul for it.
I'm a man of the city. Sure.
Yeah, let's go with man of the city. Nice. Ledger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fortunately, we've hit a really boring stretch of the adventure.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Yes.
guess explore.
Yeah, I mean, there's barely anyone trying to kill us at all.
Oh man, we have a new route.
I mean, we just got into town. That's probably why.
Yeah, I think we want to go to San Francisco better more than.
Acapulco.
Yeah.
All right, market. Smith and Wesson, harmonica, wax cylinder, or buffalo hide.
I mean, the Smith and Wesson's probably going to come in handy.
I don't think you get to actually use it. What set does it say it's part of?
Valuable in Lima, Acapulco, and New Orleans.
Acapulco.
And the buffalo hide?
Valuable here and Panama City and Oman,
Omaha.
maybe.
No, that's Omaha.
Omaha makes more sense than Oman.
Yeah, fair enough. Man, do I look like I can read?
I mean, you could try to pick up the revolver if you want.
Well,
Or rather, you could pick up the revolver and we can try to hit New Orleans.
New Orleans sounds good. You know, that's kind of the direction we want to go.
All
I
right.
mean, I think San Francisco's probably going to have railroad routes that go norther mostly, but I don't freaking know in this game.
Oh, leaves
Right.
in 3 days.
I mean, if we weren't fucked over before,
Let's negotiate. Tomorrow for 2,900 pounds, or in 2 days for 800 or 830.
830 sounds good.
Yeah.
I mean,
Alright.
we're not going to make it, so it doesn't really matter.
So to the hotel.
But like, if we were New York to London, yeah, because we'd be in literal threshing distance of our goal. But we're still, we're on an island paradise right now, quite a ways away from England.
Just a little bit.
So,
Yeah, we
and
have failed indeed.
I mean, that's been expected for a while now. Do not lose heart. Don't think it's heart that's the worrying part here.
I think it's that you're traveling with a fucking psychopath.
Well, also, it's more the wallet. I'm not sure how much was bet on this.
We'll find out in like 3 months.
So,
I imagine we can probably get a little cash for polishing shoes in the lobby.
I mean, I guess.
Yay. Alright, on the banana boat.
Mm. Telling me banana. Yes. Oh, it's actual fucking banana boat.
That is the song.
Hmm. I guess became accustomed to.
Sounds fine.
It's just fruit, not.
Yeah. Still, I question the viability of shipping bananas from Hawaii to California. I know this is steampunk world, but still, I don't see this working out too well.
Huh.
I'm trying to open up some routes to New Orleans.
Yeah. The thing is, we don't want to go to South America.
Oh god, no.
If we can help it, yeah. It looks, according to the guide that I just brought up, that Burlington is where we want to try to go after, probably. If we want to hit New Orleans. Otherwise, we're fine.
Okay.
There are plenty of options.
So we see.
Everything smells like
It's
smells of banana.
yeah, it'll be vaguely nice to be in a reasonably routed continent again.
Mm-hmm.
Which I suppose is an extremely Eurocentric way of looking at it, but on the other hand, the mission we're on is also extremely Eurocentric.
I mean, for fuck's sakes, it's going from London to London in 80 days.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you could get more Eurocentric or specifically more British centric than this.
Yeah, and well, Passepartout is French, so.
Right, but he's the side character. Phineas Fogg is the actual like protagonist. Of the actual book.
I guess by the literal sense of protagonist, yeah.
Like, anyway, if bananas were our worst of troubles.
Passepartout is the viewpoint character, which I guess makes sense, seeing as how Jules Verne was also French.
Yes.
So the main character, so the viewpoint character is a Frenchman.
Yes. But look, even though it was written by a Frenchman, like you can't escape the fact that this is about pretty much putting America aside, traversing what the British had conquered at that particular moment in time, for the most part.
Well, they conquered America too. They just lost it afterwards.
Right. But we're talking 1870s. This is, if not the peak of the British Empire, getting there. Like, we are at the British rule over 25% of the globe.
Yeah, that is what the sun never sets on the British Empire means. It doesn't mean the British Empire is eternal. It means literally the British Empire contains territory in every time zone.
Yep. Charge towards the noise.
Yeah, we're already crazy.
Yeah, it's like no sense for sensibility at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for fuck's sakes, we raised up a mutiny.
We stabbed mutiny by it.
Yeah, we stabbed more than one person.
We may or may not have killed another man in a drugged-out stupor.
Yes. Passepartout here is not to be trusted. Let's go with scaring me half to death.
I guess, would you like to stay for a while?
Sure, why not? I don't. What?
He says words funny.
Right. Amuse herself.
Or not, I must be mistaken.
No. Or no, I must be mistaken, yeah.
Okay, maybe that wasn't the smartest thing to do, but it was fun.
Yeah. I mean, the relationship meter is at 86.
That's not the relation. The relationship meter is just a descriptive thing. That's his health.
What is wrong, monsieur?
Oh.
What should I do? I can do anything.
Surely your crew is better suited to this.
I'm a concierge. I can do anything.
Like, how did we get it pressed into this?
Magic?
By being available.
I like mine better.
Is the baby's father not aboard?
I feel like doing it that way might have side effects.
I mean, clearly.
Like, we don't want to make the captain mad.
Oh well. He is at home tending the farm. Okay, that's one way of putting it.
I steeled myself to the role. I am the concierge.
Catch the baby.
I'm
mean,
like,
that's not an entirely wrong description.
no. I handed the creature over immediately.
Yeah.
Here's your larvae.
He's your crotch goblin.
That is horrible.
I know.
Mm.
Oh, come on. Lots of stories have, uh-oh, you gotta be a midwife now. Things.
I shuddered at the memory.
Alright, let's do this at the market.
Actually,
Goggles.
I think we'll call it here. Move to the topic of discussion since it's 10 after 10. And we got a heavy topic to get through here.
Oh, right, that.
Yeah. I mean, it's not something I want to be talking about, but, it's kind of the story in gaming right now.
Mm-hmm. So I guess you want me to play the thing?
That's usually what we do when we change the topic of discussion, yes.
Yeah. All right, welcome to the topic of discussion. Okay. Like I said, this is nothing fun or not so much informative or enjoyable. There we go.
That's better.
Because we got to talk about Activision Blizzard. It's like if you've been paying even remote attention to the gaming scene, you know what this is about. In fact, that the initial story broke during broadcast last week. I'm trying to remember if it was this show or if it was last News Desk.
I think it was last News Desk, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. But it was definitely last Wednesday when the initial story came out that the government of California is suing Activision Blizzard over its toxic workforce culture.
Calling it frat boy-esque?
Flat out calling it a frat boy culture. They're like, if you like, the actual affidavit has a lot to it. I didn't read it myself because, well, quite frankly, I didn't really have the time to read through a lengthy affidavit. But
yeah, and I don't speak legalese, so.
Yeah. But we've certainly gotten the highlights. It's like that's kind of what the fucking press is there for, to pick through all of the legal stuff and find the juicy bits. And oh god, in fact, Kotaku just followed up on one of the bigger ones. That's the Cosby Suite.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god!
Yeah, apparently it wasn't just like a outside nickname.
No. It was because there's an actual painting of Bill Cosby there.
Yeah.
I've seen the picture. There's a bunch of Activision Blizzard employees, including some fuckers from HR, on the bed in that fucking room. Mm-hmm. Which is, by the way, stocked to the brim with alcohol. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, This is all
Some of
looking
that
like
stuff might have been from a hotel room, but still. If it was like their portable hotel room headquarters.
right, but they called it the Cosby Room. Apparently, what the dude bros are spinning it as is, oh, that was because of the ugly wallpaper or carpeting, something about the upholstery because of Cosby sweaters. And this also, it was 2013.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing, the Cosby allegations, they've actually been floating around for a long time. It wasn't until a stand-up routine in 2014 when that really fucking exploded into the mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, there's about a 1% chance at best that they meant the Cosby sweater thing. The other 99%, and by the way, we also know this because the fucking texts that these idiots put out told us, like, it's what you think it is for. I'm like, it's for, the fucking. The bigger
Also
question.
known as very bad things in the workplace.
Yes, this is not a thing that should exist in the workplace. But let's get to the fucking added implication here, because it's called the Cosby Room. It's got fucking alcohol in it. There's probably roofies around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not saying that's actually what happened there, but that's what all the implications are right now. That this was a fucking rape room.
Yep.
And yeah, that would be so much worse. But even if you take that out of the equation, because okay, nothing proven that nothing showed that nothing non-consensual has gone on there yet. At least in terms of actual fucking, this isn't related to the workplace harassment. That's a separate thing. There's a difference between calling some girls over to a place versus trying to fuck your coworkers and then rebuffing your advances and continuing to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And also taking them on a fucking business trip and being such a harassing douche nozzle they fucking commit suicide.
Yeah, and those chat logs were bad.
Yeah, this is all
That's
bad.
Understatement, my friend.
This is all really, really fucking bad. It's bad enough that the California state government is suing Activision Blizzard. And it's not helped that the PR response has been bad, just flat out bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the devil himself, Bobby Kotick, even said their initial response was tone deaf. Well, yeah, when you lost, a lot of money on the stock exchange today. Because, this is the kind of thing that does damage to your business. Like, this is kind of what happens when you tolerate a toxic workplace culture, and you aren't really all that successful in bearing the news. Because this is not the first time, or like I can name, let's see, Insomniac, Naughty Dog, Ubisoft especially. They got away with a lot. I'm not sure if it's because they have better PR people than Activision Blizzard. If it's because people don't hate Activision Blizzard as much. I'm like, if it's because they're French. If it's because, like, I think the government, I'm trying to remember if the French government's doing anything in regards to Ubisoft. But that's another thing to keep in mind here. The government of California, this is not the only gaming company they're going after. That they've been this fucking terrible. Riot Games has been the target of California for a while. In fact, there's another branch of the California government, like the Office of Fair Housing or something like that, something along those lines. I'm blanking on the specific office. It doesn't really matter so much as there's, just yesterday they're suing Riot Games again because nothing has fucking changed at Riot Games. Yeah, this is a larger pattern of dude bro behavior, which understandably is not just a gaming problem. But gaming's probably done less about it than other industries. Lest we forget, this is the same industry that gave us Gamergate. God, what? Only 6-7 years ago? The literal preamble to the Trump era. So this is all very unsurprising. Now, as far as what's going to happen, don't know. Like, we're still in dealing with the allegations mode. I don't think California has set any court dates or anything yet, but hopefully, but the court stuff is the far away stuff. The immediate stuff is today, a day of recording, a whole bunch of Activision Blizzard employees have did a walkout in protest of the conditions. Like apparently 1,000 employees have walked out.
That's not a small number.
No, I'm not exactly sure. Like, if it was just from Blizzard, because I suppose to narrow things down, and this is kind of part of Activision Blizzard's defense. They're saying nothing has happened on the Activision side of the equation. It's all been Blizzard. And, I do have to agree in the sense that Blizzard has been a lot more fucking controversial than any Activision branch I can think of. That's not to say that bad shit hasn't been happening at, like Sledgehammer Games or Toys for Bob or anything that's under the Activision umbrella. It's just what the state of California is suing over is, they're suing Activision Blizzard. That's the holding company that controls both Activision and Blizzard. They're suing the president of Blizzard for not fucking sanctioning the main asshole who instigated this. And they're suing that guy. I forget his name offhand, and quite frankly, I don't want to really give him any press. He left Blizzard last year under curious circumstances. Well, I think we know why he left. It's the same reason a lot of Ubisoft people retired early, especially in the months prior to the abuse allegations. And yeah, it's a big fucking mess.
To put it lightly, yes.
Yeah. I mean, as far as our stance on supporting Activision Blizzard stuff, well, Max discontinued any playing of Activision Blizzard products, so no.
Which is kind of a big deal since he was doing Overwatch as one of his main things.
Yeah, that's another thing. He might not have done anything on Monday because
he did something.
He did something, but I know it wasn't Overwatch. Mm-hmm. Because he's on boycott mode. I'm like, as far as us, well, yeah, we'll boycott Activision Blizzard stuff. It's just, we don't cover Activision Blizzard stuff on the program.
Yeah, for reasons involving the whole they only want $250 million.
Yeah, look,
and we don't rate $250 million games usually.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Plus, yeah, personally, obviously, nobody here is really into Call of Duty. Blizzard, we're not big Blizzard people either. I've never, honestly, when it comes to Activision Blizzard, I think the biggest lines of support would be Crash and Spyro.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
which I am pro in principle, but don't actually own any current ones of. So
I bought
I guess that's part of why I didn't buy Crash 4 yesterday.
Yeah.
I got Ace Attorney Chronicles instead, which I was
I
going
mean,
to anyway.
so yeah. And our take on the situation, well, it's pretty obvious. Like, I'm not gonna say burn it all down. Like, that kind of accelerationist language isn't fucking helpful. Plus, um, that doesn't really take into consideration the lives of the rank and file and all that stuff. Well,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, look, if you want that shit to burn all down, you kind of have to get comfortable with the fact that a lot of people are going to be out of jobs, okay? And let's face it, they're probably more prone than, fucking the executive and management levels here.
Mm-hmm. Executives have this spontaneous ability to manifest golden parachutes.
Right. That's because their work is all on contract.
And they can hire lawyers easily.
Yes, all that stuff. So, saying death to Blizzard, death to Activision Blizzard, yeah, not really conducive to the conversation here. Because also, that's not going to fucking happen. Not anytime soon. Like, Activision Blizzard is now, feeling a hit, but how long does that last? We can't say. It's, this is all very fresh stuff. Mm-hmm. And, once again, they've got a court case, at least one. Like I said, we don't know how deep this goes. We don't know if other we don't know if the federal government will get involved in some fashion. We're in a lot of fucking uncharted waters here. At least Activision Blizzard is. Like, I think things like, the walkout, that's a good start. But, it can't stop there. I'm like, as far as forming a union, nice idea. I don't have a lot of hope for that. I'm like, mainly because, okay, have you seen the state of unions in the U.S. lately? I'm like, not only are they unpopular, but they're good. They're getting more and more incompetent or ineffective. Like, I'll cite. How many here knew that there was like a 3-week strike at Frito-Lay?
I saw something about that, but otherwise not much.
Yeah. I mean, granted,
and by something I mean like a Tumblr post.
Yeah. I mean, I saw a few tweets about it. It's one of those things that gets buried because this is not the kind of thing that's in the interest of major news bureaus. But it was a thing, and they were on strike because of the horrid working conditions at Frito-Lay, and apparently, that ended with a new contract, and that said they didn't have to work suicide hours or something like that. Yeah, I'm like, if that's what unions are bringing to the table, it's not a surprise that they're on the downswing. Like, this is also compounded because, unions aren't really a strong thing in the tech sector. And it's not just here either. Like, I can't really think of a strong union in Europe when it comes to any sort of technical field. That a lot of that comes down to the blue collar, white collar divide. Like, when you think of unions, where do you think they show up? Railroads, the airline industry, food preparation, garbage men.
Usually blue collar stuff.
Yeah. You don't really hear about unionization in white collar jobs. And there's a couple reasons for that. It's because, the perception from the white collar view is, union, they're for people who do manual labor. They're for people who get their hands grubby and dirty. Not people who work at their clean, computers or what have you. And it's also, in honesty, or at least the perception was, tech workers got paid a lot better than these other people. The reality is probably not true. I'm just explaining the perception here. Like there wasn't really the thought process that the need for a union in this sector. When, yeah, actually having a union in your sector is not a bad thing usually. I won't say unions are 100% good. Like, they can get corrupted, fucking Jimmy Hoffa and all that stuff, but I'm like, it's probably like it's better than right to work.
Yeah.
But like I said,
Isn't it nice how all these principles have all these great names that definitely make it sound like something that has no problems? Right to work. That sounds like a good thing. You want to not have people tell you can't do the job you want to do, but that's not what it actually means.
Now, and I suppose that's another thing in the tech sector. Like, a lot of right to work stuff is kind of based off of the premise of you are easily replaceable.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot harder in tech, be it video games or computer programming. And like the more specialized you get, the harder it is to replace you. Like, Activision's probably not going to fire 1,000 workers, at least 1,000 tech workers in one go. I know they fired like 800 people after a record profit thing, but that wasn't a lot of tech people. That was a lot of business marketing people. Different field set. My point is, tech people are harder to replace than a lot of other fields because they have a specific skill set, and you can't easily train people for that skill set either. Like, in fact, that's oftentimes when these companies will offer higher wages. They're not doing it out of the goodness of their hearts. That's not how they operate. Like, no, it's because the expense of retaining employee X is less than the expense of training employee Y. Though I will also offer the counterpoint that, I will acknowledge that, video games is not only a young person's field, at least in the AAA sector.
As evidenced by a lot of the, fathers of the freaking format are still alive.
Right. That's going to be relevant later on this season, by the way. I'll talk about it in the
stuff like the guy that made Mario is still alive and in fact pretty much running Nintendo.
Well, we're having the father, I guess, of adventure games on the program later on. That kind of thing. Like, keep in mind our guest last week, Burger Becky. She is a multi-decade veteran of the video gaming industry. My point is, the old people, the old guard, they're still around, but they're usually maybe in management or indie circuit. They're not really in the developmental sector. Granted, that's why some of them sold out. Like, this is why Microsoft owns In Exile and Double Fine now. But we're getting off track here. The thing that the Activision Blizzard employee force needs to do is they need to keep the pressure up. Be it by actual union or loose union, like we're seeing with this walkout here. It's
like non-formally contractualized solidarity.
Right. You still need to have the fucking solidarity, and you need to have it long fucking term, because that's one of the things Activision Blizzard is waiting for. Granted, it's different from Ubisoft because, like I said, I don't think the French government got involved in that in any fashion, which is, that was all like internal, voluntary work that changed nothing shockingly, or perhaps not so shockingly. keep in mind here, the main thrust here is the government of California is suing Activision Blizzard over this. So, that, the thing is, the government of California actually has to follow through on things, especially if they get a judgment in their favor, because that's, if I'm remembering correctly, that happened with Riot Games, and Riot Games is still as awful as ever. I talk about this on the political show a lot. It's like change is a sustained effort a lot of the time, especially if we're talking systemic issues. It's like you can't fucking give up a week into things. That is the thing that I should not see happening. But that is also what I'm concerned about. Because people boycotting Activision Blizzard stuff. How long? How long did that fucking last for? Remember when everyone was pissed at Blizzard for their Chinese support? Banning those commentators and the people who supported Hong Kong.
Mm-hmm. And even now, I haven't heard many people even suggesting a boycott for more than a day or two.
Right. Well, here's the thing. Everyone was pissed off at Blizzard until the fucking BlizzCon showed up. They showed the Diablo remaster.
Oh no, they're still putting out cool properties that we enjoy. Well, at some point you have to decide which is more important to you, the cool properties or people.
Yeah. And once again, this is why I have a problem with some other commentators in this space that just want to blame the companies for everything. I get that. I have to say that the blame needs to be shared on a lot of these fucking things. Because it's not just the fucking company that's supporting this shit. The fucking Blizzard audience supports the fucking products. They don't stick to the boycotts. They see the shiny object. They want the shiny object. That just fucking supports the company. It's you have to have some actual sacrifice here, or else nothing's going to change. It's you need to not buy the latest Call of Duty game. You need to stop pumping money into Call of Duty Warzone. You need to not reactivate your World of Warcraft subscription. You need to make Activision Blizzard pay, literally. That is
financially with money.
Yeah, that is the language they speak. Anything else is just, a momentary bump in the road. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I think that's about it. Or at least how much I want to fucking spend on this.
Yeah.
This shit just really, really pisses me off. If it wasn't obvious before. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so that will about do it for this installment of Fragments Silicon. We are expecting a new episode of Last News Desk on the Left. I know we've been a bit spotty about that in recent times, but we haven't gotten any cancellation notices, so we're assuming that's happening. And that's coming in about a half an hour from now. No Friday show this week. And on the Sunday reviews, we will be having reviews of Boy Beats World, Gut Whale, Family Vacation California, and UFO KO Tower Defense. And until then, I shall wish you good gaming.